Hey, Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com. Today we had kind of we'll just say an interesting day in the market. Didn't really do much except just continue what the hell it's been doing, which is kind of drifting sideways and grinding. So I want talk to you about Bristol Myers and also Eli Lilly, because I think both of them are good stocks, but I think one of them's better than the other. So I'll get right to that now. One thing, by the way, I want to mention is my invitation to you to join Stock Market Mentor .com. I think that if you're like anybody else, you're going to wind up liking it and you're going to wind up making money because that's what we do here. Okay. So with that said, Bristol Myers. Okay, this is a stock that's working pretty well now. It has been trending lower, and this is actually on our active trade list. It got put on there today. Volume was below average. It's been below average for quite a while. But if you really let's do this though, I'll show you something. That's the 20-day moving average. All right, but things are kind of changing. So let's go to the five. We go to the 5-day exponential or the 5-day moving average. This is just why I'm showing you. It's pretty simple. Over the last 5 days, volume's higher than average. Same thing as it was back here. And so the point is, you can go back and look at all these big spikes and this and that. That's fine. But that was then, this is now. And what I'm looking for is to see if this stock is actually going to bang out of this downtrend here and continue to run. And so when I go really, really tight, really short term on the volume, I see that this is actually the volume's just fine here. So, and also I've got a momentum indicator that is loosely based on the trade the market squeeze indicator. It's given me green here. It's been like that most of the day. You can see it here. First thing in the morning, it runs up, drifted off a little bit, and now we're back at it. So I really, really like the way this is trading. Now, Eli Lilly, get back to the daily chart. This has been choppy. Again, like this is Bristol, much easier trade. Eli Lilly, though, up in the winner's circle, this is where we want it to be. I had been in this trade a while ago, and then I've got in my notes here, take the L. In other words, the stop got hit, and I'm going, all right, a stop's a stop, I'm out. And I got out. However, now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing a potential, only a potential, for a nice rebound higher. But think about what I was just looking at on Bristol. If you're looking here at, again, the last 5 days, the 5-day moving average of volume, this has been low and it's been lower and lower and lower. So in order for this to move higher, we're going to need to see an increase in volume. And by the way, it's got to be hello green, not red. So as I look at this, this is how I would lay it out. Bristol Myers, this is a buy right now. Eli Lilly, this is one that you just want to wait on. Okay, at least that is the way that I would trade it. So again, I just want to invite you to be a member of stockmarketmentor.com. We got a great trading room over there. I'm over there every day. I get emails all the time from people talking about how much they're learning as well as making money. And one other thing, I'll just say it. If you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, like it and subscribe, and you'll get more of this. Okay. All right. See you next time.